Hello, everyone, and I finally got the complete set of the Batman animated series, Wave One. Um, a friend of mine, Jeff, kindly got me like the Mr. Freeze, and then I found a Scarecrow on GameStop. So now I have like the complete set. So I'll try and review both of them, and then I'll make another video for the assembly of the Condiment King. So let's get on that. So up first is Mr. Freeze, and um, Mr. Freeze looks amazing. Out of the box, um, especially with the design of Mr. Freeze aesthetically, I would think that this may be the strongest action figure of that line. He does come with that design of like a domed head, like a helmet, and it is removable. You can like pop that out. So say if you want him to look left or right or whatnot, you can fix that, and then just pop the dome back on. And I like this because they didn't cheap out. They didn't sacrifice anything in terms of the look of Mr. Freeze, and that this is the way that Mr. Freeze, in terms of the animated series, for me, um, he really looks like this. Like there's almost like an art deco kind of aesthetic to him, like lots of rounds and lots of repetition in terms of the spiraling on his arms and his legs, right? That seems to be kind of like a motif, a very kind of sci-fi-ish look to him, and I like it. And he has his freeze gun here. It nicely fits on either hand. I think he has like a gun hand here as well. Um, and he does come with, if I remembered correctly, this is probably more hands than Batman and Robin. So he has two already attached. So 4, 6, 8. So 10 hands all in all. So 5 pairs of hands. And then of course, plus you get like the build a figure accessory, which is the Condiment King's backpack here. But really, I think McFarlane really knocked this out of the park in terms of the. He has this removable canister. I guess this is like the nitrogen tank, to keep his suit cool, right? And yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's no pun intended. Um, Articulation at the wrists, joints at the hip, and also, yeah, there's full articulation there. You know, the knees. This is really nice. I mean, even at the shin here, you have a bit of articulation, which is yeah. I mean, Mondo again came out with like a 12-inch scale figure, and I was thinking about getting that because it looked really good. I think it was one of the first ones that came out. But now that I have this, honestly, I don't think I need the Mondo one, because this scratches the itch. I mean, this is, it nicely is a, even the shading of this. So, excuse me, I would say even the shading of this is probably far superior than the Batman and Robin ones that I've seen. Like I said, this is probably the strongest one of that line. And it looks really pretty well. Like, I just love that blending of like his pasty white face and the red eyes. It looks so menacing. Um, he's almost like very robotic in his appearance here. Um, and it suits Victor Freeze, right? I mean, I know, the animated line, the animated series really made um, Mr. Freeze's story, giving him a lot more depth, right? Because prior to that, like even in the Batman '66 series, he was just kind of like I think it was like a Russian guy who was just, like your usual gangster, run of the mill criminal, super criminal spiel. But with the animated series, what they did was they gave Victor Freeze a very good background and motivation, and why he does the things that he does is because of his wife and out of revenge, um, all that. And I think the episode is Heart of Ice. Um, and we won't talk about the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Everybody freeze, um, movie, but I think the animated series, Mr. Freeze is I think the most memorable Mr. Freeze, just because the episode, and even the plot, right? Now, when they came out, I think another movie of uh, Sub Zero, I think, Batman Sub Zero, I think that was 1998. It was still in the style of Mr. Freeze. When he had Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, kidnapped, to save his wife. So anyway, like I said, this action figure is, even the shading here on his belt, it's almost so mesmerizing, and very little paint spillage. It's barely noticeable. In fact, I don't see any. So I lucked out on this, I think. Yeah, I love that. Like you even have like the tiny gasket switch over there, right? For the gas tank. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful action figure. Can't say anything more. Like I said, I think this is the strongest of the line. So off we go now to the Scarecrow. Okay, now we have the Scarecrow, um, Professor Ichabod Crane, and what's interesting about this Scarecrow, or the figure, the construction, is of course it's very animated, accurate, and I think there's like two versions that came out of him. There's like the brown, I think, version, and then there was also the red one. So I have the red one. I don't have the brown one, and I don't really plan on picking him up. Um, I'm not entirely sure. I think the story was that there was some change in the episodes, when halfway through they wanted to make the Scarecrow scarier, and so they had to change some of like the color template of him. And I actually don't remember which one came first, whether it was the red one or the brown one. I think in Nothing to Fear might be already wearing the red, or maybe the brown one. I'm not sure. Um, uh, and then there's also Dreams and Darkness. Now I've actually just seen those episodes, I think about a month ago, but I just don't remember which one was the palette swap. Whether that was like which episode he was wearing the brown one or the red one, but I have the red one, and I do like the detailing of this guy. I mean, for one thing, okay. So first, I'll go with the things that I don't like. I don't like, or rather, I don't think there's not much of a choice in terms of the structuring for Scarecrow. Like his hips are like the leg movements are in a ball joint, right? And I'm a little bit worried about this because it seems kind of flimsy. Like this one, I cannot move at all. So there we go. But maybe I should loosen it up more with like a hair dryer. And the knees seem to be double jointed, but there's kind of, again, I need to like soften it up before I could give it kind of like the full articulation. Um, and there is a little bit of like a foot, I guess, foot swivel, but there's no ankle, swivel. And again, because he's so lanky and thin and bony, I think there's just a limited way that you can do him in terms of the design, right? and in order for it to be cartoon accurate. So overall, I guess it's all right. You know, like they I like the detailing here, right? Like the shading, like the rope binding on his pants here. That's a nice detail. Like also on the wrists here. That's also a nice detail. Like especially this, even the tiny like the sewing of the corner of the shoulder here is nicely done, right? Like you see some detailing. I don't think his hat is removable, uh, so I think that's permanent. You know, so he looks like kind of ominous, especially with the lighting. Um, and again, it's like one of those things. I think I like this because some of the cell shading is not so obvious, right? And of course, he has his alternate head. And I hope that we see more of these figures with alternate heads from McFarlane because I like this. You know, the smirking Professor Ichabod Crane. Um, he looks so menacing. And yeah, I mean, this is it's. But I don't know. Like I said, it's the posability that's my issue with Scarecrow. He does come with a scythe, um, which is also nicely shaded at the back, and it's kind of like plain at the front. But I like this jagged details here. There's some jaggeding on the scythe, the blade itself. Um, but it doesn't come out with much accessories apart from the scythe and the alternate head and the two pairs of hand, right? And he does come with a torso and head of the Condiment King. Like I said, I think for my money, you know, Mr. Freeze is the strongest one of the set. But of course, I think if you're collecting the entire series, you might end up with either the brown one or the red one. So I don't know. I think that's just probably like a color swap. Um, it's a nice figure. In fact, I think this is my first Scarecrow figure. I think yeah, he came out with a original one in '92, I think, with Kenner. I vaguely remember that. But yeah, this is nicely detailed. I mean, again, I don't know if Mondo is going to come out with like a 1/6 scale of the Scarecrow, but it's one of those characters for me that even if Mondo came out with like a 1/6 scale Scarecrow, I don't think I'll grab it. So it's nice to get him in like a McFarlane line, especially with something so cartoon accurate, right? And what I love most about McFarlane is that when he releases toys, they tend to be on a very affordable side. So, you know, like this entire set of Mondo Batman, you know, so you got the Batman, Robin, Scarecrow, and Mr. Freeze. That's getting all four sets is still cheaper than like one Mondo figure. You know, and because like each is like $33, and then the Mondo Batman that I had was like 200 Canadian dollars. So even at that, if you're on a budget, especially, you're far better off just collecting the McFarlane line. So at least you get like four figures for the price of like one Mondo, like you know, not even right. So and then plus and plus you get a Condiment King, so it's not even just four figures because you get like a BAF figure. I forgot about the Condiment King. You get five action figures for the price of one Mondo. You know, not even one Mondo Batman toy. So and for the Mondo stuff, you know, I think because now I got Catwoman and Batman, I think I might, and I just grabbed the Joker, right? Like I have to have the Joker, and I've sat on that, I've debated it, and eventually, the line for me is not complete without the Joker, so I bought Joker. I'm just still waiting for him to arrive, so I'll make a review of that the moment that I receive the Mondo Joker. But anyway, like I said, I think if I have like those three characters, because like Batman is my favorite superhero, Catwoman is my favorite superheroine, and and the Joker is my favorite villain, that would look nicely, right? Displaying them, those 12-inch figures, and then in front of them would be the small McFarlane animated series figures. Like I said, it's because it's a little bit difficult because if you have like an entire set of 1/6 scale figures, like I have like a D12 display, and to a certain extent, when you're displaying all of them, you really need space. So it's a space constraint. Even though if they look nice on the shelf, it's very important to space out the figures, especially if they're like 1/6 scale. But if you have a scale that's about like 6 inches, I think there are ways and variations that you can display them in a way that it's nice. So, I think I'm going to stick with this line. I can't wait for Series 2. I think they just came out about a week ago of the stuff that's coming out. I think they're going to have the Joker in a trench coat, Jim Gordon, the Blind as a Bat, Batman, and sheesh, I forgot the other one. But they're coming out again with a set of four, and they have like a build a figure. So I'll be watching for that. So yeah, thanks for watching this review, and I hope that was helpful. Like I said, I can't say anything but good things about this McFarlane animated series line, and I just hope that they come out with accessories and stuff. I'm still on the hunt for that Bat Cycle, but hopefully they'll come out with like a Batmobile and like the other cast of characters: Catwoman, Batgirl, Poison Ivy, Two Face. All those characters, I definitely snag those up at a heartbeat once the entire like maybe set 2 and set 3 and set 4 comes out. So I'll keep a watch on that. Okay, thanks everyone for watching.